And now we're back with part 2 of this, so we're picking up right where we left off, and here we go. Now, since I want to upgrade to get an additional move per turn when I choose that option, this is what we're going to do. We have 1 oil, I need 3 to upgrade, so we're going to choose this option, trade for 2 oil. Increase move, and we're going to decrease the cost for building a structure. Speaking of building structures, let's see what the structure bonus is. It's on farms and tundras. Okay. Let's get the power star and build a structure. So if you see here, we have 15 power, which means I only need 1 more in order to get the power star. So here we go. That just gave me a power star. We're going to use 3 wood. And I think what we're going to do is build the mine on this one. So that'll give us a structure bonus. And it'll also be able to, if I wanted to, move the mech to any tunnel to get me closer to a battle, just in case I wanted to exercise that option. Let's see where we're at after this turn. Okay. Alright, so let's remind ourselves our Riverwalk abilities. Okay. Knowing Riverwalk and which territories you can get to across rivers is very helpful. So this is what we are going to do. I'm not really feeling too confident right now in attacking. And I only say that because I know that Crimea, actually I probably could. They don't have scout and they have no combat cards, so let's go ahead and get ourselves ready to attack Crimea here. So since I had the mine here and I have speed, the character went from this territory to this tundra and then went across here with Riverwalk. Now let's show what we sometimes call the worker spread. Something like this. Now again, I can leave a mech on a lake just by itself. Okay. The mech could also be carrying a worker and or resources and be on a lake. That's valid. Just can't leave a worker on a lake by itself. So I did worker spread and I made sure to leave a worker on the factory so that I could control the factory at the end of the game and get 3 additional territories for owning the factory. Now let's engage in the combat. The max that they can have is 7. I'll have plenty of those. Let's just take 7 with me. Win the battle, and that gives me the 6th star, and now it's time to count up points. Alright, so I had 7 popularity, which put me in tier 2. I was in tier 2 along with Crimea. And by virtue of the number of stars that I had, plus the territory, clearly won in terms of number of territories. So I had 11, Crimea had 4, RusViet just had 1. Now you're going to see that RusViet, they sure loaded up everything on just the one territory. Not a strategy that I would typically do. There are some times where you'll see Saxony, they might load up on one of the tunnels, especially if they have disarm. They might load up their mech and let's say 3 or 4, they might load up their character and 3 or 4 mechs on the same territory. But they could have also done a worker spread before that point. So if you know that you're getting close to the end of the game, let's say somebody has 4 or 5 stars, and you know that they have a good shot at getting to that 6 star very soon, doing a worker spread is important. Now I knew that I was going to be ending the game on that turn, so I use it as an opportunity to spread workers and especially to get this worker on the factory, helping me to control the factory. So if you take a look at the score, once again, I had 11 territories, but the factory counts as 3. So when we minimize this, I should count that I'm on 9 territories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm on 9 territories, but the factory counts as 3, which means that counts as the 10th and 11th territory. So both Crimea and I were both in Tier 2 in terms of popularity. RusViet not only in Tier 1, but they only occupied 1 territory. And it's helpful to do that sort of thing. So hopefully this video was helpful for you to see a few things that you can do with regards to movement, how the factory card move works, and also to know that there are some things you can't do. For example, where I just demonstrated that you can't place a worker by itself on a lake. You can place a worker by itself, for example, here or here, and here and here, just like when a mech carried it and dropped it off. That's part of that worker spread strategy. A video coming soon. I'll finally get to the Togawa and Albion explanations. At first I was thinking I would do a 2-player game where I play as Albion against Togawa and then flip it, but I think what I'll do is have a game as Albion against maybe 2 other factions, and then I'll do the same thing with Togawa against 2 other factions. So that video is coming soon. If you have a video request or a challenge for me, let me know. And if there's any questions about, hey, how does move work? How do enlistments work? How does build work? Building structures? Let me know in the comments, and I'll make a video on that.